So, Mark, did you see the calendar 1 year ago? The beloved Tropicana closed, and with it went all of the class on the Las Vegas Strip.
Totally. All the class. Yeah. It's crazy that we're a year later and we still don't know if there's going to be a hotel and casino on this property. Nothing's been done. The stadium's going to be there, but we don't know who's going to be managing anything else there.
It was a sad day, and for anybody who follows Vegas, you don't get one of these closings all the time. Although we got two of them last year, I'm still heartbroken. I was there the minute they chained up the doors, and I will never forget it. R.I.P. Trop.
Did you get the coffee mug that you clanked on the jail cell bars when you were arrested there as a 5-year-old?
No, but I did steal a water from one of the rooms. So on the last show, we talked about some of the numbers, the gaming numbers coming in for February, and kind of as we were recording, a lot of the numbers came in. So I did put these numbers visually on the screen, but we didn't talk about the visitor volume and the revenue per available room, the room rates, and how they were down in February as well. The RevPAR down 28.1%, Mark. The room nights occupied down almost 11%. Convention was down almost 20%. Overall visitors down 11.9%. Some of this we covered last time. This was really bad, though, even worse than we had originally thought with the numbers, especially the revenue per room and the room rates, because those have held pretty well for a long time.
Yeah, but we're also still talking about Super Bowl versus not Super Bowl. So I'm sure maybe occupancy wasn't as bad, but they're not charging the same rates as when you're hosting a Super Bowl as just watching it, in a sports book and stuff. So I can see why. I think comparing it to like 2023 numbers would be more fair, and I still think that they would probably be down a bit. It's not like the busiest time of the year outside of Super Bowl weekend. Maybe a lot of people come for the playoffs during the weekends, but it's just, not like a high time pool season or anything like that. So it's kind of tough.
And as we record this, casino stocks are all plummeting. A lot of uncertainty in the world with the tariff situation, and a lot of people kind of speculating it's going to affect tourism. So is this the beginning of really bad stuff to come, or is this just a blip? We will see. Like I said last show, I don't love focusing on the negative too much, and there's still a lot of people coming to Las Vegas, so we will stay tuned to it. But yeah, if you own some of those casino stocks today, I guess if you own any stock today, it's pretty ugly.
Now's the time to buy, right?
Maybe. No financial advice here. But what we do have is April Fool's jokes. We opened the last show with the candle, an idea that I think would be great. And here's one that you thought would be great. In fact, it fooled you. You thought that this was a real idea, Circa turning their sports book into a movie theater.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, they're ripping off the Sphere. Yeah, I think later in the summer when all you have is baseball, NBA's done, everybody's waiting for NFL to kick off and spring training and everything. I could see like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, them having like a movie time or something in there. You have the screens, you have the sound, you have the seats. Take a little bit of Sphere's business.
It would be cool. I think, maybe sports gamblers wouldn't be happy, but it was April Fool's. Station Casinos also got into the game. They had a climbing wall for the middle of Red Rock Casino. That was weird. And anybody who said they got fooled by that, I question. GVR with their seltzer, their own GVR branded seltzer. Again, that one didn't do it. But they also said Durango was going to have a dome. And it looks just like the atrium at the Mirage, so I feel like they're rubbing it in a little bit.
I think that the Dome and then the Circa movies both would have been great decisions, and hopefully they still do it. And I think it's kind of a kudos to Circa because they do come up with these unique and one-off things, so it gives it a little bit of semblance, and I could totally see them pulling this off. And in Durango, we talk about how bright it is and everything, so I could see people thinking maybe that's real because it is one of the brighter, more natural light casinos out there. And I think putting an atrium in the middle of it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, Hard Rock, what the hell are you doing? You had one and you took it out.
Now we have to go to Laughlin to the Home Depot shed, get our light.
So following up on that candle story from last show, Daniel Wright actually pointed out on Twitter that Cromwell used to have their own scented candles that you could buy there. The last time you saw it was like 17 or 18, so it's been a few years. But yeah, let's bring that back. More of these scented candles.
Maybe they have them in the back room that they can sell them before Lisa takes over and makes it all Vanderpump and everything. Like, find the stock of these and let's get them sold.
Yeah, we'll help you. I guarantee there's people out there that will buy them. Yeah. And both of us will take a couple as well. So speaking of Caesars, Wyndham and Caesars have had their partnership for a long time, and there is a new promotion if you book with Wyndham and stay at a Caesars property, you need to do 2 nights, and then you'll get 5,000 bonus points, which could be $50 in food and beverage credit transferred over to Caesars. This is a weird promotion, but basically 2 nights at Caesars, booked through Wyndham, get $50 in food and beverage credit.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky too, because if you have a player's card at Caesars, you'll probably get better deals booking through Caesars Direct, like better than $50 off 2 nights. And then the other tricky thing is they're like, yeah, you get 5,000 points, which technically can be transferred to Caesars Rewards, and then you can use them at 1 cent a piece on food, drink, whatever, the hotel room in the future. But you can only transfer them in 10,000 point chunks. So unless you have some other points to go with them, they're going to be stuck in Wyndham.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most blockbuster deal, but Wyndham points can be valuable if you are in the Wyndham ecosystem. Like you said, probably better to use your Caesars account if you are a player. So I wanted to gatekeep this. I saw this. I was like, I'm not going to share this because I want a cabana all to myself. But Palms is offering free cabanas for locals. They've had free pool access, I think, going back forever. And maybe they've run this before. I just happened to notice the marketing for it. But this summer, Nevada locals, you can get a free cabana Monday through Thursday. There's a website I'll put the link to. You fill out a form, so you can't get confirmation online. But I mean, this is a heck of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, but how many people are going to fill it out, and how many are actually going to get one, you think?
I don't know. I mean, that's, how many are they giving away for free versus what they're holding back to charge? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try, but I'm sure, like I said, I wanted to gatekeep this so that it wouldn't become so popular, but oh well.
You should do it before this goes live. But I mean, it's a cool idea. It's just a question of how well it's implemented and how easy it is. If it's like, one a day or a couple, like 2 or 3 a week, okay, what are the chances that you'll get it? But I think it's good to fill when it's a slower time. And then usually when people get something for free, they're more willing to spend money on other things. So hopefully they make some of it up on food and drinks and everything. And I'm sure there will be some people that will go in there and spend no money, and that's fine. I mean, that's part of the promo, but I think it's a good idea. Give back a little bit to the locals, which it's more of a local leaning casino in the first place. So I think, all around, it's just a question of how many do they have? How many do they give? And will Sean actually fill this out? Spoiler alert, he will
Probably not. Probably not. But I do want to follow up on Palms. I talked about we had a trip there, eating at the buffet, stuff like that. So anyway, we got our first full mailer offer from that, and it's pretty good. 2 free nights. There was 3 $50 dining credits spread across the month, and then I think 8 different $50 slot credits spread across the month. So this is pretty decent and better than we've got elsewhere. Very anecdotal, and we tried this with a clean card, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to go in there and play for the first time, I think it's better than a lot of the other programs.
You did say last show $50 gets you off the couch, so you have to get all 10 of those.
Yeah, it's a lot, but at least it's worth going. So good on the Palms. Not good on the Dirty Castle. We talked about how they fired all the valets.
You can't say Dirty Castle anymore. People were getting offended by that. I saw a couple episodes ago.
Blame C-Note, send all your hate email to him.
I know. That's what they said, like, I think it was pointed at me, like that we're uppity or I'm uppity because I call it Dirty Castle when we think it's a term of endearment. C-Note came up with it. He stays there all the time. He loves it. I just thought it was kind of fun. And we've talked about how much we enjoy the interior, the center bar, everything. How I said I would stay there over Luxor after staying at Luxor. So I don't know where all that came from, but, let the haters hate.
Yeah, it is a term of endearment. Neither one of us hate the Excalibur. That's quite honestly true. But they cut all their valets, their bellmen. And here's a picture of the sign showing you no more valet. Valet was always a thing in Vegas. It was free forever, right? And, it was sort of one of those special things. You could go valet your car. It didn't matter what hotel you were at. And I predict that this is just the beginning of the end.
I don't understand the business decision behind this. One, like the tweet said, older people, can't make that walk. It's just inconvenience to people that, need this most. And if you're making money off of it, like you're charging fees for the valet now, and you're charging more than self-parking. So you're covering the people's expense. So now you take these people off. Yeah, you cut your payroll, but you're also cutting your revenue. I mean, if you have to up it $5 or $10 to make it more feasible, do that. And then the people that really, really want it or need it will still pay it. I mean, they'll complain, but they'll still pay it. But just to remove it altogether makes absolutely no sense on something that pays for itself. It's like walking over a dollar to pick up a dime. It's so dumb.
And to point out, the size of this hotel is massive. The hallways are massive. And like you said, people, wanting help, and maybe they have luggage carts and stuff that people can use for themselves. But yeah, this was a differentiator. Hotels of that caliber that charge that price, I said this on a previous show, don't normally have bellmen, but the scale is huge and they should have it. And maybe they should have just come up with a bellman fee.
Yeah, or if you're doing bellman, you're doing valet, like just charge more to cover the costs of what you need. I mean, a lot of them make a ton of money on tips too, so this is hurting them that now they're not going to have that option. Even if they get moved to a different portion or a different job within the company, they're not going to probably make as much as they were doing this. I mean, wasn't that the joke that the show Las Vegas? He went to school for engineering, but he made more money parking cars at the Vegas, getting tips. And I think that's based partially on truth.
Yeah, Mike, he was such a cool guy, the valet, and then he was a security expert. He did everything. I mean, if only there were real people like that in the world. I don't know. He was like an MIT graduate, a security specialist, and a valet parker.
Dude, I remember we were at a bar downtown Detroit once, years and years ago, and it was like, 2010, so market wasn't great, and a guy went to school for engineering. He's like, my first job, I make more here bartending, so I just kept bartending after I graduated.
Yeah, I think many such stories in Vegas, quite honestly, many people in that same position. As a reminder, we have our Patreon, $5 a month, get you access to our weekly after show. This week, we're diving into the Las Vegas visitor study. Tons of fun on that show. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. And thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So the A's made their debut in Sacramento at their beautiful new ballpark, and they got slaughtered by the Cubs. I think the first game they gave up 16, 17 runs or something like that. I think 35-9 over the 3-game series. They gave up 35 runs and only scored 9. It's really terrible. But the best part was their press conference. Did you see it happen in like one of those Home Depot sheds?
Yeah, they were trying to do their best Laughlin impression, I guess. We get 2 Laughlin singers in there this week. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, I'm happy for Vegas that they get a baseball team, but I think they're going to hate that this is the ownership group and the team that they brought in. They're going to be terrible. They'll probably pull like a Miami Marlins did years ago when they built the new stadium. All these big flashy contracts, get people to buy season tickets. Then they ended up trading everybody away like a year later and gave up on it. It's just such a horrible team and franchise and ownership group. Hopefully they get forced to sell or something.
But you got to love the press conference room. They spent millions of dollars on upgrades to this ballpark, and then they must have forgot about how they're going to hold press conferences. Wishing the A's the best doesn't seem like their season is very good to start. I mean, that's an insane number of runs. But let's move on to Siegfried and Roy. We talked before how their mansion was for sale. Commissioners approved making it a historic place, and now they're going to have a kind of a museum there. So basically, they're going to celebrate Siegfried and Roy. And yeah, it's good that this place is saved for this purpose, I think. Super unique house.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Only $3 million. I would have thought more, don't you think?
Well, I mean, it looks like it was built. It's a very unique sort of house. There's a lot of houses in Vegas like this that were built at a different time and in a quirky way. So I don't know. But yeah, just for the history and certainly the value of this business. I mean, I guess the big question is Siegfried and Roy, the brand, still big enough to draw people, especially this is off Rancho. It's not right on the strip.
Yeah, I think you'll have enough diehard fans that will go out there that you can have a decent business. And then if you have a really good event type of thing where you put on stuff or you host cocktail receptions there or something, it's kind of cool. Maybe like small wedding receptions, different things. I think that they could really carve a niche business out of this and do really well, especially at that buy-in point. I don't think it's bad at all.
Another event happening this weekend, and shout out to CSIM on Twitter for tagging me in this, reminding me of this. Aviation Nation's happening at Nellis Air Force Base this weekend, April 5th and 6th. I have not been since I was a kid, but I did go a couple times as a kid. Pretty incredible, all the planes. They have air shows. You get to go on the base. The parking situation, you got to go out to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Then they have shuttles. Not always the easiest thing. So it's like a whole day thing from 10 to 6, so be prepared for that. But super cool and one of the neatest aviation events in the entire country.
Yeah, whenever these things go off, I always hold my breath until they're done because so many crashes happen at air shows. It's kind of crazy because they're doing weird things and they're often flying older
negative,
planes.
Mark? That's the first thing you got to say.
It's true. I mean, how many times do you see these videos on Twitter flying old planes where you can't see very well and they crash into each other? It's scary stuff.
Yeah, but it is neat, and we do have the Blue Angels, and you always get some cool stuff. Plus, you get to go on old airplanes, and I just remember really loving it. But it is an ordeal if you're going out there, so be prepared for that. So you just got back from the Bahamas, and you stayed at Baha Mar, which is one of the largest casino resorts in the entire world, certainly a world-class resort down there. And yeah, tell us a little bit about the casino. It kind of looks a little familiar.
Yeah, if you see the video and then you put it up next to a Wynn video, they look pretty identical. It's kind of hard to tell them apart a bit. Same color scheme, same design. And I know somebody on Twitter said that the same person designed both, so that makes a lot of sense. It's a beautiful casino, smaller than what you'll get in Vegas, and it's more narrow. It's like a long, thin strip that kind of goes throughout the property because there's three different hotels there. And it's kind of like trying to connect all three together. Beautiful. They have all the games you want. They have a sports book, tons of restaurants, really high-end restaurants, very nice. And we did a big breakdown of this on the travel podcast, and I said if you put this in Vegas with just the pools, it would be top 2 or 3 in Vegas. I think Wynn would only beat it out. And then if you add in the water park and the beach and the ocean, of course it's not possible to put that in Vegas, but if it was, it would be the best property in Vegas, hands down.
But it doesn't have a giant lake. Imagine if Wynn had the giant lake. Which would be better, Baha Mar or Wynn?
I mean, if it got jet skis, then I'd say Wynn.
But yeah, you're right. It is incredible. I was there a few years ago. Very bright too. Kind of if you like Durango, there's a lot of glass windows, and then you got the beach. You got incredible pools, a water park. So sort of everything under the sun plus the full casino. And check out MTM Travel, Mark. We did a whole episode about Baha Mar and the Bahamas. And yeah, if you're looking for a casino vacation that's different from Vegas, I don't think it's going to be a better value. We talk about high prices, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the pricing is very similar to Vegas as far as, food and drinks and everything. You're not getting a break because they use the US dollar, so that's 1-to-1. But it's probably my favorite casino property outside of Vegas that I've ever been to. And then if you want to go like on a family trip but have one night for the adults to kind of let loose and have fun, I think this is a good fit, and the kids will love all the pools and water slides and everything like that. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
So who says Vegas doesn't have culture? We have all these cool installations around town. One of them is the Van Gogh art installation at Crystals. Maybe you have heard of it, maybe you haven't. The reason I want to cover this is because a lot of these places come and go, and this one's been there since 2021, seemingly doing well, and now they're going to Van Gogh 2.0, so they're bringing in an updated version of it, maybe new tech, better projections. I did this once in Amsterdam, a very similar sort of exhibit. It does bring the art alive, and it's a great sort of family thing too. But if you like Van Gogh, there you go. You'll get a whole new experience.
Yeah, I think these are really cool, and I know they have some traveling ones that hop around a bit, but it's great to see that this one's been successful and stayed in Vegas all that time, and they're coming out with a new one. So if you've been before, you'll get new perspectives or new art up there and everything. So I've always wanted to check one out. I've never had the time to make it work, but they look really cool and immersive. And if you're big into art, it's definitely something you want to put on your list.
So this next story is a shout out to Californians. Pink's Hot Dogs, very famous in the LA area. Started in 1939, I think. And then it actually did come to Vegas for quite a long time. It was at Planet Hollywood for 7 or 8 years. I think even briefly was at Red Rock. I didn't even remember that. But they went away, and this is a great hot dog, great chili dog. But they're coming back, Mark, and out of all the places in Las Vegas, can you guess where Pink's Hot Dogs are coming to?
I mean, I can't believe it's at a water park.
2 water parks at the Cowabunga Bay, Cowabunga Canyon water parks are both going to have Pink's Hot Dogs. Plus, most of the menu, they say, this is the weirdest
Are they getting
thing.
free rent? I don't get it.
I don't know, but I mean, it's good for locals, I guess. I really do like their hot dogs, though. I haven't had one in quite a while. Good stuff if you're ever in LA, one of those very famous eateries to go check out. But if not, come to a water park in Vegas.
Are you going to pay the water park fee just to get in there so you can get some hot dogs?
I might know the owner, so maybe I can. Maybe he can sneak me in just to get my.
Oh, look at Sean big timing us. Oh.
So we talked about the anniversary of Tropicana closing, and now we have another anniversary coming up. Wynn is turning 20 years old, which just makes me feel super old, but that's going to happen later this month. But they're giving all of their day one employees $10,000 in stock. Now, big question, was that valuation before today or after today? Because their stock is down quite a lot on Thursday as we record this. But also some really cool gifts like MacBooks and other stuff. So 10,000 in stock. I mean, that's a pretty good gift.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I love that they're doing this. And, then you look at Caesars. We talked about the guy that had been there since day one, which was a lot longer than 20 years. And what did he get, Sean? I forget. What was it?
It was a watch or something? It was something.
Wasn't he the one that got the light bulb or some crap like that?
Yeah, we have to look this up. So we looked it up. Benny Figgins retired in 2022, and he was gifted a plaque along with some of the strings from the original chandelier in the casino. We don't know if they gave him anything else, Mark. Maybe something else.
I mean, it's worse than we thought.
Poor
Oh,
Benny.
it just goes to show the difference of the two companies. That's insane. And he was the last. Like you only had to do it for one, and Wynn had more than one. He was the last one to go, and people said it was because of unions and stuff back then or whatever. But Wynn has unions, and they still made it work. So I don't know. It's just the difference of the two companies and the way they look at their employees, I would say. But yeah, that's crazy.
I wanted it to
String
be
of
good just so Mark couldn't yell, couldn't make fun of it, and then it was chandelier strings.
Oh man, so bad. I mean, at least give them like the bust from the showgirls or something cool.
And let's close with this, some bad news. Flamingo Pool, they're very cagey about this, but we've seen some pictures in the last week. I think it's supposed to open in a week from now. They're still saying spring. It's probably not going to open until May. We don't know, but it's still far away. So just wanted to update people on that beautiful new Gogh pool. I'm really excited to see what it looks like when it's finished. They're just way behind on it, but this is one of those very positive things happening over at Flamingo. So give Caesars credit for that.
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, it's not really pool weather till May anyway. It's not like it's the warmest. What's it there right now? Like 65. So, I mean, if they're going to open next week, it's still not going to be. I mean, people would still like to lay out and everything, but you're not going to get in the water all that much. So, I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't know why they're being so weird about it. Just come out and say, like, hey, we're delayed a month. It will be May, whatever. And shoot for that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like. They've done great stuff everywhere else. I expect this to be really good. I mean, it was a cool pool area before, so it should be on that level, if not better.
So let us know what you guys think about anything we discussed today. The day one gifts for Caesars employees versus Wynn. Everything else we discussed, the Siegfried and Roy mansion, all of it. Leave a comment. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Maybe Caesars threw in like a pack of big red gum for 25 cents too or something. I don't know. So bad. Have a good weekend, everybody.